Namaste, Sastrikal, Vanakkam, and a very warm welcome to all you of you. I'm your history storyteller, and today we are diving into fascinating chapter villages, towns, and trades from your NCERT Class 6. We will travel back 2,500 to 3,000 years and see how iron irrigation, clever merchants, and powerful kings knitted together the ancient world. Imagine a time when a simple iron axe could change the destiny of a village, when paper was called black gold, and when India was connected to Rome, not by WhatsApp, but by monsoon winds. Let's begin. Look at this opening slide. It whispers the big questions. How did our ancient villages grow into bustling towns, and how did trade connect them? We will meet new words like Sangam, Shreni, Silk Route, Punchmark coins, NBPW, and Grama Bhojaka. Don't worry, each word will become a story. So fasten your seat belts because our time machine is ready. First stop, the fields where a new metal changed everything. Imagine this, about 3,000 years ago, people in the Indian subcontinent began using iron. Archaeologists have found iron tools and weapons in huge stone burials called megaliths. But the real revolution came around 2,500 years ago. Suddenly, the iron tools were everywhere. Look at these four heroes. The axe. Earlier, thick forests were impossible to clear. Now, with a strong iron axe, trees fell and the land opened up for farming and building villages. The iron ploughshare. It's the tip of the plough. Unlike wood, this iron blade cut deep into the soil, bringing up fresh nutrients. Result, more grain from the same field. Then came the sickle, a curved blade for harvesting crops fast. And of course, the blacksmith's best friend, the tongs, to hold red hot iron and shape these tools. Imagine the clang clang of the village blacksmith. He was the tech hero of that age. Iron tools boosted agriculture like never before. More food meant more people could do other jobs. Priests, potters, traders. The foundation of town was laid right here in the fields. Now, more food was good, but kings always wanted more. Why? Armies, palaces, forts, they all needed money, and money came from taxes. So the kings thought, if farmer produce more, we collect more tax. Clever, right? They began planning big irrigation works, but whole dig. The people, farmers, and laborers provided their muscle. Together, they built canals to divert river waters, wells to tap groundwater, tanks to store rain, and even artificial lakes. Look at this flow on the slide. Kings plan irrigation, people provided labor production increases, revenue grows, and yes, farmers also benefited. It was a cycle. In Tamil Nadu, you can still see ancient tanks built by Chola kings. So irrigation became a royal project, and with water assured, villages prospered. Now here's the question: who lived in villages? Society was layered. We will explore two regions. First, the Tamil region, known from beautiful Sangam poems, composed more than 2000 years ago. At the top were Vellalar, large landowners. They didn't just own land, they held high status. Then come Uzhavar, ordinary ploughmen, the hard-working farmers. And at the bottom were Kadaisiar and Adimai, landless laborers and slaves. They worked on their field with little to call their own. Now travel north. Here in the villages spread across the Gangetic plains, we meet the Gram Bhojaka. He was the village headsman, and this post was hereditary, passing from father to son. He was the largest landowner, tax collector for the king, and also served as a judge and even policeman. Quite powerful. Below him were Grihapatis, the independent smaller farmers who owned their own land. Then come Dasakarmakara, landless men and women who worked in others field. So whether north or south, ancient villages were like a ladder, with big landowners at the top and landless laborers at the bottom. But remember, everyone depended on each other. Where there are villages, there are craftspersons. The blacksmith made iron tools, the potter shaped clay pots, the carpenter built carts and houses, and the weaver made cloth. Every village had these experts, but cities too were buzzing with crafts. Look at this stunning pottery, northern black polished ware, or NBPW. It's hard, wheel made with a shiny black surface that looks almost metallic, like a mirror. How? Potters baked it at very high temperatures and applied a fine black slip, a layer of liquid clay that turned glossy. NBPW has been found from North to South India, a clear sign that traders carried it far and wide. Now, these craftspersons and merchants organized themselves into Shrenis. That is the Sanskrit word for guilds. Think of a Shreni like a combination of trade union, a training school, a bank, and a charity, all rolled into one. Shrenis trained new craftspersons, procured raw materials, and distributed finished products. Merchant Shrenis managed trade routes. And here is the cool part. Rich men and women deposited money with Shrenis, earning interest. The interest wasn't just kept, it funded Buddhist monasteries and Jain shrines. So Shrenis were the economic engine, also supported religion. Business with a heart, you could say. Now let's visit a city that was a superstar of its time, Mathura. Around 2000 years ago, Mathura was like a multitasking genius. First, it was a trade hub. Imagine crossroads where caravans from the northwest met those heading east and routes from north to south converged. Good ideas, goods, ideas, and pilgrims all passed through. Second, religion. Mathura had Buddhist monasteries, Jain shrines, and it was a major center for Krishna worship. Third, it became the second capital of powerful Kushana kings. And fourth, the art and sculpture. Mathura's workshops produce some of the finest sculptures in the world. Red sandstone images of gods, kings, and dancers that still take your breath away. So, one city, many roles. That's the mark of a great urban center. Now, to buy and sell all these goods, you need money. And ancient India had a unique currency, punch mark coins. Imagine small pieces of silver or copper, rectangular, square, or round. They were not inscribed with words, but were stamped with symbols, hills, tree, animals, the sun. These symbols were punched using separate dies. These coins were in circulation for about 500 years and are found all over the subcontinent. A trader from Takshila could use the same coin in Madurai. That's how integrated the economy was. So, whenever you see a Panchmark coin in a museum, know that it traveled far and touched many lives. Hold your breath because we are now sailing to the shores of Puducherry. Between 2200 and 1900 years ago, a bustling port called Arikamedu connected India directly to the Roman Empire. Archaeologists found Mediterranean amphorae, tall jars used for wine and olive oil. They found Aretine ware, stamped red glazed pottery made in an Italian city named Aretium. Imagine Roman merchants sipping wine from those very jars on Indian soil. There were dyeing vats, small tanks for coloring cloth, showing a thriving textile industry. Roman lamps, glassware, and gems also resurfaced, and Arikamedu was a major bead-making center. Semi-precious stones and glass beads were crafted here and shipped west. Even more exciting, pottery pieces carry Tamil Brahmi inscriptions. proof of early Tamil literacy and a vibrant local culture. So, Arikamedu whispers tales of a fusion world where Roman designs merge with local craftsmanship. Now, sail up the west coast and to modern-day Bharuch in Gujarat, known to Greek sailors as Berigaza, a Greek sailor's account, the periplus of the Erythraean Sea, lists what went in and out. Import included wine, copper and tin, lead and coral, topaz, cloth, and gold and silver coins. Exports Himalayan plants and ivory, agate, carnelian, cotton, silk, and perfumes. Notice India sent out luxurious high value goods and imported metals and wine. There is a cheeky note. Ships carried special gifts for the king, silver vessels, fine wines, beautiful cloth, so that traders got smooth access. Looks like even 2000 years ago, a good gift could open doors. How did all this travel? NBPW pottery, found far from its manufacturing hubs, acts like a footprint, showing that traders carried goods extensively. Southern India was famous for gold, spices, especially paper, which Romans called black gold, and precious stones. And guess what? Many Roman gold coins have been found in southern India. Why? Because Roman brought so much paper that their coins stayed back, and the secret of this trade boom was the monsoon winds. Sailors used the powerful southwest monsoon to speed from Arabia and East Africa straight to India's west coast. No need for slow coastal crawl. Sea routes, coastal routes across the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, and land caravans, all crisscross, making India the heart of global network. In the south, about 2,300 years ago, three chiefly dynasties ruled. The Movendar, which means three chiefs in Tamil. First, the Cholas. Their inland capital, Urayur, and the famous port, Puhar or Kavirpattinam, the fertile Kaveri Delta, was their rice bowl, and their port was celebrated in Sangam poems. Second, the Cheras, ruling from Vanji, with ports Tondi and Musiri on the western coast. They were the gatekeepers of the spice trade with Rome. Musiri became synonymous with paper. Third, the Pandyas, whose whose capital was Madurai, the literary capital where legendary Sangam assemblies were held. Their port was Korkai, famous for pearl fishing. These three chiefs didn't just rule land, they controlled the coast and through that the wealth of the world. Now let's trace the most legendary trade route of all time, the Silk Route. This overland road started in China, cut through Central Asia, entered northwest India, and then silk moved to seaports to be shipped to Rome. Controlling this route was like holding a golden goose, and 2000 years ago, the Kushanas did just that. They ruled a vast territory stretching from Central Asia into northwest India. Their capitals were Peshawar and Mathura. Takshila was a major Kushana center. As this slide shows, the Kushanas collected tax, tribute, and gifts from traders, and in return gave them protection from bandits. So, a branch of the Silk Route reached the Indus ports, and Indian silk traveled west. Mathura prospered as a cultural and trade hub under Kushana rule. They did not just conquer land, they mastered the art of taxation along a superhighway. Now, time to gather the golden threads. 1. Iron tools like the axe and ploughshare revolutionized agriculture and forest clearing. Second, village society was layered, from big landlords like Vellalar and Grama Bhojaka to landless laborers. Third, Shrenis organized crafts trade, were bankers and supported monasteries. Fourth, cities like Mathura were multifunctional magnets of trade and culture. Fifth, India had thriving trade with Rome through ports like Arikamedu. and Berigaza, and via sea and land routes. 6. The Kushanas controlled the Silk Route, while the Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas ruled coastal trade in south. All these elements interlaced, making ancient India a dynamic, connected civilization, not a set of isolated villages. So, friends, the next time you pick up a coin, sprinkle paper on your meal, or see a shiny black pot in a museum, remember you are touching a story that began thousands of years ago. Iron in the fields, monsoon winds on the sea, Shrenis in the cities, and the ambition of kings all came together to create the world we came from. And history is not just the subject, it's a thrilling detective story where every object is a clue. I hope this journey made you feel that excitement. If you enjoyed this lecture, do hit the like button, share it with friends who love stories, and subscribe for more history adventures. And I have a question for you. Which trade item from ancient India amazed you the most? Paper as a black gold, the shining NBPW pottery, or the Panchmark coins? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single one. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning. Dhanyavad. Thank you. Jai Hind.